just driving this car is an experience. As you can see from the driving footage, she's a bit of an animal. I like to refer to the car as Saint Anger, which is one of my favourite Metallica albums and one of their songs, and yeah, she's angry enough, I think it earns the name. Where it all sort of started for me was 80s Falcons, believe it or not. I've had quite a few XDs and XEs, had quite a few of the E-Series Falcons, but a little while ago, probably about 6 or 7 years ago, I bought this car after having a really nice F250, but I just wanted some US muscle, and this car was in the right place at the right time, and had a 454, turbo 400 and a 9-inch. It's the basics that I wanted. So this one here has been a work in progress for a few years now, and so I mean, I'm not even responsible for how it looks and all that sort of stuff, but just driving it, I rarely drive it with the windows up. It's just a total experience. It's got no driver aids at all, no power steering, no power brakes, but it's got big brakes. It's got full manual turbo 400 in it. I didn't go reverse pattern because I would like my partner to drive it at some point, and I didn't want her to get confused. I showed my old XD quite a bit. People would have seen it at different events to do with Show Cars Melbourne. That was the one car that I built from top to bottom. You know, I still love four-wheel drives as well and all that sort of stuff. So, but US muscle, I don't know, it just sort of sucked me in, and a lot of people have sort of said to me, dude, what happened? You were all Ford, now you're all Chevy. But I don't know, it just sucked me in, and the air smells better, the food tastes better. It's had a full, basically from the radiator through the motor, torque converter, transmission, tail shaft, which I already snapped one tail shaft. Diff center, now it's got a 3.7 Trutrac in it with 31 spline axles. Apparently they're older Moser axles. We've put in a decent cooling system because this thing was, you know, it's a lot of motor. So, but yeah, that's been done over the last year, 18 months. Engine bay's been tidied up. We tidied up all the factory welds because they were all sort of like big blobs of weld, and had quite a few holes welded up. Firewall's been smoothed over, but I tried to keep it factory looking, but you know a lot's been done to it. No wiring, no holes anywhere, no battery. That's all in the boot. And it's my mate Emmanuel did the engine bay. He painted it black, and it's actually a satin clear. It's not matte black like the Americans would have done or did do to this car. It's all been sandblasted and what have you, so it's all fresh. That was one of its biggest tidy ups, and then yeah, all the 11 days of paint correction and ceramic coating and all that sort of stuff that was not done by me. And yeah, we've got these big American Legend wheels on it, which are 19x8s on the front and 20x10s on the back. And it gives it a little bit of traction. It gives it a bit of traction. You get a bit of heat in the rubber, and we've got good tyres on it. It does all right. learnt a lot, and yeah, if I ever do a swap meet stall at the fridge or any swap meet, there's going to be some cool big block stuff there, I'll tell you what, because it's all new. I learnt basically that you cannot just use a 454 alternator bracket. Being a tall deck big block, it needs to reach another ½ an inch over to the cylinder head to have that pivot point bolt for the alternator. So fortunately, CVF Racing do a tall deck big block alternator bracket, which ends up being 2 brackets. So I had to buy that and learn that. The extractors on it are all custom built because obviously it's a tall deck, and also the exhaust ports are, it's either 30 thou or 300 thousandths higher than a normal big block. So I had the extractors built up in Ballarat at Race Pipes. I think they're 2 in a 2 1/4, and then 3-inch collectors, and then it's 3-inch all the way through mufflers and dumps before the diff. So when I go to a show, if it's a grass-based show or something, people love me, but I cop it just as much as they do. So. Other than that, it wasn't too bad because the big block engine mounts and all that sort of stuff are basically standard. They lift the motor a bit and push it to the right hand side to get it away from the steering column. So having that already, when I had the extractors done, the whole front of the car was off. So that allowed him to build the best extractors we could fit. And yeah, other than that, it requires this scoop on here because the tall deck, the height of the inlet manifold, size of the carby, and it just gets closer and closer and closer to the bonnet. And I did space the engine mounts up a little bit to get the oil pan off the front cross member. Other than that, yeah, I think it's a little bit heavier, being a forged bottom end and what have you. So probably front springs could be due for it to control the front end, because this accelerates so much quicker than the 454 that was in it. If you're going to hit bumps, you're going to hit them a lot faster. And yeah, I just put it together with packages really, like aeromotive fuel system is all matched, even the wiring's matched to the aeromotive fuel system to make sure the fuel pressure's there. And I've mucked around with carbies on it, and the 1250 Dominator seems to be the one that makes it the most happy. Ignition could be a little bit better, but we'll get on top of that during winter this year. Other than that, it's an animal. It just really is. You'll see that in the footage. It's just got so much torque. Just cooling system was pretty basic, but it's definitely a lot bigger radiator. I found it did really well cruising it through bright at slow speeds. It's got the big Spal fans on it and what have you, so yeah, there's not many fans that flow as much air as these do on the market. And yeah, like I said, we've rewired the whole car front to back. It probably didn't need it, but I wanted to hide all the wiring and have the current style fuses and things that I could buy anywhere. Upgraded headlights for roadworthy and the VAS certificate. Seat belts, everything's in there. I'm happy to help people with info on seat belt brackets and whatever for these things, because I've helped a few people. driving it. It's just, I want to race it. I'd love to do a couple of events, Geelong Revival, Cuda 400, what have you with it. It's a bit of a trailer queen, I'm told, but 45 minutes to an hour in this car is enough. And yeah, being 10.3 litres, it's a bit thirsty, so I'm not going to complain.